I want to get pumped up because this is a party, right? So why don't we start with 5 seconds of jumping jacks, okay? I want everybody to get up, okay? I can't see you guys yet, okay? But I want you to get up. I'm gonna trust you. I'm gonna trust you guys that you're gonna get up and you're gonna show some initiative and you're gonna party, okay? So let's get up. We're gonna turn up the duff, okay? And we're gonna do jumping jacks for 5 minutes, inshallah, okay? So everybody get up and we're gonna start doing jumping jacks, okay? 3, 2, 1, go! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, okay. So, alhamdulillah, I hope you guys are excited. I hope you guys are energized. And inshallah, we're going to get started very, very shortly, okay? We have a bunch of guest speakers for you today, which we hope you will learn a lot from and apply to your new year, as this is the New Year's Goals Party. We'll have Sister Michelle back today to introduce those hosts very soon. And inshallah, we're going to put the paddles that you guys made as a part of your workshop in today's party. So we're just going to get started here very shortly. And inshallah, I'll be able to see your guys' chats as well as your wonderful faces. So get started in the chat and shortly we'll be able to write. In the chat below, I want you guys to type one big goal that you have, okay, going into the new year. And I want you to remember this goal. Because at the end of the New Year's Goals Party, after we've gone through all the speakers and such, I want you to look back at the goal that you wrote in the beginning and see how you can improve it, okay? How you can apply what you've learned and make it more specific and use it to improve in the next year. Also, I'm not wearing a suit today. That was yesterday. We're going for a different vibe today. Okay, let's see. Okay, I can start seeing you guys now. Let's take a look at the chat. We have 23 people here. Okay, so we have our first comment here from Sophia. Walaikum Assalam, Sophia. She is 7 years old and she's from New York. And she learned the importance of owning her own business yesterday. And that's what the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ did as well. Wow, Sophia, that's actually amazing that you learned that, because that was the main goal that Brother Sohail was trying to teach you guys yesterday, the importance of owning your own business and becoming financially free that way. And though you guys are young, you can use the lessons that he taught and slowly work yourself up, okay? So inshallah, I hope you guys learned that as well. and very soon I'm gonna introduce Sister Michelle, okay? But I want more people to turn on their cameras as more people are joining the meeting, okay? And I want it to seem more like a party, okay? So everybody turn on their cameras, okay? Unmute yourself if you have to, say what you want, and inshallah, we're gonna get started very shortly. Now it's my honor to introduce Sister Michelle, and she's going to introduce our first guest speaker for the day. So get your notebooks ready, get your pencils ready, and we're going to get started very, very shortly. Okay? Jazakallah khair. Sister Michelle, it's up to you now.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Brother Saad, for the introduction. And now we're heading into a truly special session. But before I introduce our next speaker, we're going to take a moment to reflect. So here's a question for all of you Sunnah campers. What does the word legacy mean to you? I know Sister Zakia has probably talked about it in some of her classes, but some people unmute themselves. What do you guys think legacy means, or leaving a legacy? You can drop your answers in the chat as well if you don't want to speak, or I'll call on some people. Anyone? Is Satina here?
Legacy?
Yeah, legacy. Do you guys know what it even means? No?
You do good deeds and people follow you.
Yeah, good. That's a good start. Anyone else? Who was that? That was really good, actually.
You do a stuff and it gets many people do it after you. So it was me, Musa.
Oh, it was you, Musa. Okay, Musa, that was a really good answer. Jamila Rahman.
Knowledge.
Good. I don't know who said that, but that was a good answer. Jamil, you have your hand up. You can go. You guys don't have to raise your hand. You can just speak. I can't see all the hands raised, that's why.
I said it right now that sharing knowledge.
That's a really good point. Sharing knowledge. I like that. Okay, I'll take one more and then we're gonna go head into today's session.
Wait, what's the question?
The question's, what do you guys think a legacy means to you? So one more person, and then the rest of you can just type in the chat. Okay, Mohammed Talal. Could you repeat that once more? Good. These are really good answers, guys. All right, everyone else can type in the chat. I'm sorry I can't get to all of you, but subhanAllah, your guys' answers were super thoughtful and you kind of nailed it. So we're gonna make it like a little more personable. What kind of legacy now do you guys have? So you guys told me what legacy is, what it means to leave a legacy. But yesterday we talked about Brother Sohail and he talked about creating businesses. So today we're gonna talk about how we can use those businesses or other goals that you guys have to leave a legacy. Does anyone want to share any legacy that they want to leave themselves? Did someone say something? Oh, Mustafa, okay. Do you want to say something? I can't really hear you, Mustafa, but if you want, you can type in the chat. Hamza, do you want to go? This is just me, I can't hear anyone. Turn this up. Okay, that's good. Okay, Hamza, there's some other sound. I can't hear you either.
I think the screen's glitching.
Oh, Satina. Okay, Satina, I'm gonna jump on you, okay? What type
no,
of legacy do you
I don't know.
Or do you want to share a goal that you have, maybe? It could be anything. It could be like something you want to do yourself, something in terms of your deen, anything.
I didn't make one yet.
That's okay. That's okay. That's what the New Year's Goal party is for. Okay, I won't take too much more of your time, but if you guys do think about it throughout the session, just type in the chat what type of legacy you guys have. It's a hard question, so it might take a little bit to think about it. But now we're going to jump into today's speaker. right.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everyone. I just want to jump in quickly. Make sure that your older siblings and your parents, everyone is sitting with you. Okay, it's a very important session. We all should be part of this. So if they're not here, quickly grab them. Meanwhile, Michelle is going to introduce our speaker, inshallah.
Okay, hopefully you guys are ready because today we have Dr. Fozia Alvi joining us. She is the founder of Humanity Auxilium, and she's here to guide us on how to set legacy goals and live a life of impact. So some of you guys were a little, you didn't know what type of legacy goals you wanted to leave behind. So today, Dr. Fozia Alvi will be helping us with that. Her work has helped countless people around the world, and today she's here to inspire you guys to dream big and take action. So please join me in giving a warm welcome to Dr. Fozia Alvi. I think she's here with us right now, so if we can give the spotlight to her. All right, Assalamu alaikum, Sister Fozia Alvi.
Walaikum assalam. Can you guys hear me well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So, first of all, it's a pleasure for me to be here, and thanks to Sister Zakia who invited me. And so I will leave it very informal, and I will have you guys to ask me any questions, at the end. But maybe I will. I was thinking that what to talk to you. Sister Zakia asked me to tell you a little bit about the career counseling, that what sort of career path she should choose. But I was thinking that maybe we can talk about a little bit about the new year, because 2025 years is around the corner now. So first of all, because as we are starting, it's a new chapter in our life, like, we are starting the new year. And often this is a time seen as a time for reflection, renewal, and goal setting. It's a time to reset, to think about where we are, where we want to be, and how we can take the next steps in our journey, both in the world and in the hereafter. As Muslims, it's important to approach this process not just with the, worldly aspirations, but with a deeper understanding that our goals should align with the principles of our faith, helping us grow spiritually, mentally, and socially. So I don't know how much you know about me. I just came back from Jerusalem, and earlier this year I was in Gaza. Do you guys know about Gaza, that what's happening there for the last 14, 15 months? I will ask you, I will leave some time for the questions at the end if you have any questions. So before jumping into Gaza, let me tell you a little bit about myself. So I'm a doctor. I live in Calgary, and I grew up in Pakistan. And so, all of us, I don't know about your parents, that if your parents were born here or born in back home, like in Muslim countries or in non-Muslim countries, and then came to Canada or US. So when we come to a new country, all of us, we are busy with our careers, finding a job and buying the new house. But again, we should, as Michelle was talking about legacy, we should think about it, that what's our goal, why we are here in this world. So I got involved with the humanitarian work a few years ago. With the Rohingya refugee camps. So one of the things that you can look it up today, after my talk, to look it up where Rohingya refugees are living in. So they are Muslims living in Myanmar for centuries. So they were kicked out back in, so they were being kicked out for a long time, but back in 2017, I went to help them. So that's kind of the trip to Rohingya refugee camp. So that's the largest refugee camp of the world. That changed my life. And after that, I got heavily involved in the humanitarian work. So when I went to Gaza, I was the first female doctor to enter in Gaza in this war, for the last 14 months. And I saw in Gaza many, many children, actually a lot of children. Wherever we were going, we were seeing children, and those children were looking like at your age, but they were quite mature. Those children, so the difference that I feel that Muslims living in Gaza and Muslims living here in West, like myself and many other like my children, the Palestinians, they are very strong in their faith. So small children, they know that why they are here in this world, what's their purpose of life. So sorry about it. So it's important that all of you, my advice would all of you would be, especially starting the new year, the goal setting, that what's the goal set in your life now. So first of all, I think we should all start with a clear intention that, and remember the power of intention, niyyah. In Islam, intentions are central to the success of any action, as our Prophet said also. And then second is set specific, measurable, and realistic goals. So when setting goals, it's important to be specific, measurable, and realistic. Our Prophet, our Nabi, peace be upon him, he said that the strong person is not the one who is able to wrestle, but the strong person is the one who controls themselves when they are angry. It's in Bukhari. So this hadith teaches us that true strength lies in discipline and self-control. So I want all of you guys to apply this principle to your goal setting by making sure that your goals are achievable and measurable. Third is that prioritize your goals. So what our goals should be, dunya and akhira, or dunya or akhira, or both. So as Muslims, we are taught to prioritize our spiritual goals alongside with our worldly goals. The Quran tells us that, quote, and seek through what which Allah has given you, the home of hereafter, and do not forget your share of the world. So this verse reminds us that we should work for success in this world. We should not forget the hereafter. So your goals should reflect a balance between dunya and akhirah. So how can this goal help? So think about it, that how, whatever the goals you are setting in the new year, that how can this goal help me grow closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? How can it benefit my family, my community, and the ummah? How does this goal contribute to my spiritual growth? And then break your goals into actionable steps. So the next steps in achieving your goals in breaking down into small actionable steps. A goal without a plan is just a wish. If your goal is to memorize Quran, break it down into manageable portions. Maybe memorize 1 page a week, review previous surahs regularly, set a specific time every day to memorize. But the most important thing, I think, should be that we should be consistent and patient. One of the important traits that leads to success is consistency. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, quote, and those who strive for us, we will surely guide them to our ways. And indeed, Allah is with the doers of the good. So success does not come overnight. It requires consistent effort, and sometimes it requires a lot of patience, sabr. And then at the end also, ask Allah for help. Always remember that your success is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. While you can make plans and set goals, it is ultimately Allah who determines your success. And then I think, including myself, is that we should keep our eyes on the bigger picture. The ultimate goal of any Muslim is to seek pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to prepare for the hereafter. So as we are talking about a little bit of now let's talk about a little bit of career paths. I don't know how many of you are in the high school now, junior high, senior high, that who are thinking that which career path they should choose. I have seen that in our community, Muslim community, most of the parents, they want their children to be either go into medicine or to be engineers, but it's important to broaden our horizon. So before I dive into the career paths, I want to take a moment to highlight the essence of education and what it should be, what it should represent to you as students. So some of the most influential leaders in the history have often highlighted the importance of education. One such example is Malcolm X. How many of you know about Malcolm X?
I do.
Wonderful. Those who do not know Malcolm X, he was the Muslim African American leader of civil rights movement in the United States. So Malcolm X said that education is the passport to the future. For tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. So Malcolm X words remind us that education is the key that opens door to your future. It is not just about passing exams. It's about equipping yourself with the knowledge, skills, and the mindset to shape the life you want. The efforts that you're going to make today in learning and growing will define the opportunities you have tomorrow. In many Muslim communities across the Western Hemisphere, there's a strong tradition of encouraging children to pursue careers in medicine or engineering, as I said, professions that are undoubtedly honorable and impactful. However, I urge both parents and students to broaden their horizon and explore the limitless possibilities beyond those paths. So I think that students should consider careers in law and public policy, because it is essential for us to have a voice in how laws are created and implemented. These I'm living in Canada, so the laws in Canada, they shape our lives. Yet the people making and enforcing them often do not represent us or our interest. So by stepping into those fields, especially law and public policy, we can ensure that our perspective and our values are a part of decision-making processes, creating a fairer and more inclusive society. How we suspect Canadians politicians to represent us when they do not know us. So it's important for us to be among those politicians. So we should really involve in the grassroots movements. We should get involved with our community, and we should make sure that our votes count. So let's come about public policy. So public policy experts in healthcare, for example, they can advocate for equitable access to medical services, ensuring that underserved communities are not left behind. The refugees and the First Nations. Similarly, those working in education policy can address disparities in funding and resources and strive to create opportunities for all students to succeed, regardless of their background. So these are just two examples of how entering these fields enables you to influence the issues that matter most and to advocate for meaningful change in our society. So this world is brimming with opportunities, waiting for you to discover where your unique passions and talents can make a meaningful difference, not just in your own lives, but in your communities, your provinces, your country, and the world you have inherited. Whatever you decide to do in life, paying it forward to be the north of your moral compass. So I will stop here, and I want to leave it for the questions. If you have any questions for me.
Questions?
I want to say something. Can I say it?
Sure.
I want to say that thank you for going to help all of our brothers and sisters in Gaza, because, like, to do that, you have to have very brave and confidence and courage. So, Jazakallah khair.
Wayakum. So you know what? I truly believe that it was a true honor for me to go to Gaza and to help our brothers and sisters and help those children. And if we think that, if we are females, we cannot do lots of things, we can do everything, whatever we want. And I always think that we should get involved in the world, wherever the need is, and we should just step up and we should go and help.
Yeah, that's very true.
Manha, you can come up on the camera and talk.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay. Well, Jazakallah khair, Sister Fozia Alvi, for that amazing talk. I know I learned some stuff myself, especially when you talked about how we as Muslims to take action, especially in like fields relating to advocacy, so like public policy and law, learning about the laws, learning about the way our world works. I think that's super important, especially for like many of us, because we're very young or we're starting our like university careers. So I think I took that away and I thought that was really important. But Jazakallah khair for the talk. And I think, Sister Verda, we're going to just do a quick recap of the year so far with Sunnah camps. So Sister Verda has a reel for us. We can all watch together.
Inshallah. Actually, before we play the reel, Sister Fozia, I have planned a 10-day challenge for the students. The ones who are older, you cannot see them. They are hiding behind, and the little ones, their cameras are on. So I'm going to, inshallah, give them the challenge action steps for the next 10 days based on your talk today. And then, inshallah, we'll share the work with you. You'll be happy and surprised to see how good they are.
Jazakumullah khair.
And
Can I ask something?
Yes, go ahead.
Hello?
I wanted to ask, why is Israel why wants Israel to fight with others?
That's a question for you, Sister Fozia.
Because I think we need strong Muslim leaders among us to fight back. So I want all of you guys to build a legacy and be strong Muslim leaders so that you can fight back.
Shanza wants to say something. Yes, Shanza? And then I think I heard Hamza too.
When are we gonna get the 10-day thing?
Oh, it's inshallah, starting it tonight or tomorrow, inshallah. Hamza, I think I heard Hamza. He was trying to say something. Anyone? Yes, go ahead.
Zayan wants to say something.
Okay, you can just, because I can't see all of you, you can just go ahead. Zayan, whoever wants to talk, you can take the mic one by one. You guys know. Zayan, you're muted.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
What I wanted to ask was, what was the feeling when you saw Masjid Al-Aqsa? Like, how did you react?
They saw your pictures the other day.
Oh, subhanallah. Yes. So going to Masjid al-Aqsa was really, really powerful. It was so spiritual because you know that in Jerusalem, in Masjid al-Aqsa, there's not a place like a palm of my hand that any prophet or any angel has not prayed. The whole place is so spiritual. And if you know about Hazrat Zakaria, that's where Hazrat Zakaria prayed, and that's where Maryam alayhi salam radiallahu ta'ala, and she was praying at that time in Mihrab. That's where she brought Isa radiallahu ta'ala and subhanallah, it was so spiritual. That's what our Umar, Sayyidina Umar came in. That's where Salahuddin came in. So I always ask others, when I go and talk to different people, that do not wait for next Salahuddin, be the next Salahuddin. So I want all of you guys be a strong leader and lead a legacy and be the next Salahuddin and go and help Palestinians.
Inshallah.
There are some comments in the chat. There's a question that if we want to do humanitarian work, how do we start?
Okay, so all of you guys some of you guys are young, some of you guys are a little bit big, but all of you guys, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you very special skill. All of you have. So be a part of any organization who are doing humanitarian work, or be our volunteer. You can go to our website, humanityauxilium.com. We can start a youth chapter. We haven't done it because all of you guys have a special skill. The people who can help us with the social media, people who can help us with raising the awareness, the advocacy, telling your neighbors about Palestine, for example, telling your teacher about Palestine. So there's so much things that you can do it. And I encourage all of you guys to start, do not wait, start it right away. And as I said, that get involved with the grassroots movements, get involved with your community, because the community should know that our children are strong.
So are you suggesting that Sunakem can with you and we can start a youth chapter with you?
Yeah, 100%.
What do you guys think?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, you have to do extra work.
And my brother wants to say something. Yeah.
Okay, let's take Hamza first, because Hamza, Salahuddin, is that you who want to talk, or Hamza? Because someone was keep raising hand and I don't want them to. I know that Hamza is going to have good question or good comments, or Salahuddin. Okay, Salahuddin is gone. Okay, so inshallah, that's what we get from this is the most important thing. I know, mashallah, our students, they do work on legacy building. This is their passion, but thank you so much. We will work with you, inshallah.
Inshallah.
So is there
Thanks
any
for
age
having
limit?
me.
We can all get collected. It doesn't matter the age, right? We can start from 8 years old.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you. Jazakallah khair. I'm really excited.
Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah khair, Sister Fozia.
Okay, so guys, are you ready for your work?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see any excitement here.
Yeah.
Make some noise so I can know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we are ready.
Yeah. Yeah, we're ready.
So,
Yes. We are.
1, 2. Can you see my screen?
We can't see it.
Okay, so here we go.
We can't see your screen.
Yeah, I can't see the screen. I can't see the screen.
Yeah, we can't see the screen.
Yeah, I can't see.
Can't see your screen.
It's coming. This means you show your paddles. I want to see your paddles. Let's see. Sohail bhai, no, not Sohail bhai. See, I missed Sohail bhai. Sohail bhai would have making
Can you go
jump
to
up
where
and
you
down right now.
I left my paddles.
Wow. You're not using those paddles.
Yeah, she's
Show your paddles, guys. Show your paddles.
When our next
Yeah, I
speaker
can see
comes,
now.
Rubaisa, when our next speaker comes, then you guys use these paddles when he's talking to you, okay?
Show that you're understanding. Show that you're excited. Use those paddles, guys.
don't see your screen.
Hi.
Assalamu alaikum, and I'm Al-Mari, and I'm going to tell about them Sanakam. This is Aina. I made my bag. So, Bismillah. Assalamu alaikum. It's me, Ramesa. Dear friends, so I'm going to be sharing with you my Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Jazakallah. Hope you liked my video. Allah Hafiz. Again, very thank you to my mentors and fluently in front of crowds and crowds of people.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum, Auntie Mumtaz. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Zain Abdullah Khan, and thank you, Ms. Sakia, for helping us and mentoring us in summer camp and just hosting this Tajweed boot camp. And thank you, Ustadha Huda, for teaching us lots of Tajweed and helping us learn all these new Tajweed rules.
Wow, you guys are really popping on screen. If you see your name being called out, I want you to shout, woo! Get excited. Be like, yes, I won. Be excited that you won.
Abdullah, he helped me.
Get excited. Oh, Zion, get excited. Show yourself. Zion,
Yes.
oh, Sameem.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you to my study.
Yes. Muslim.
I went to.
Salihah, guys, get excited. You're winning.
Cool.
This is Ramadan, and I will be reading another book called Allah's Blessing.
My name is Khalid, and I'm hoping you're having a wonderful birthday.
Zion, we see you. Get excited.
Today, because it's like Ramadan today, and I'm so excited. I hope. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Jummah Mubarak. welcome Ramadan.
What's up?
With one another.
Yes.
Person next. I'm just gonna confirm next video. Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum. This is week 2 and we're going
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. So this week,
Yay!
Hey, Saad bhai.
Wow, what a wonderful video. What a wonderful presentation. I hope you guys are so excited and happy that you won and got acknowledged. Okay, a big round of applause for all those people that worked on the video and were presented in the video. Everybody clap, come on. I want to see you guys get excited. It takes a lot of hard work, it takes a lot of dedication and a time to not just make that video, but to work hard and be in that video. Okay? So round of applause for each and every one of you. Show me your paddles that you guys are happy, excited, and for those of you who are not been in the video, use this as motivation and make a goal to be in the video. Okay? So I can see that you guys all have your paddles ready, and that's great because now we're gonna introduce our next speaker.
Not yet.
Not yet, but soon. Okay? In the meantime, why don't we ask you guys a little bit of interaction, okay? Now, which one of you guys are, let's use those paddles a little bit, okay? I'm gonna ask you a question and I wanna see your response through the paddle, okay? So everybody got their paddles ready? Show me your paddles. Everybody ready with them? Who has them? I see Zayan's, I see Chandra's. Who else has their paddles?
Saad, I want to add one thing. The one who are not on camera, they won't be qualified to participate in the challenge. And this is sad that I don't know why all our teens are behind the camera. Please come up on camera.
Yeah, guys.
And where is Ibrahim? I don't see Ibrahim today.
Don't be shy.
I'm here, but my camera won't load.
Yumna is on camera, but where is Hassan? Yumna, where is Hassan?
You get clout as the TikTok.
Okay, Saad bhai, we can talk, we can hear you. And Saad bhai, we have almost half an hour till next speaker comes.
Half an hour. Wow.
Yes, so I think we should not, I think I should teach you guys. What do you think? Should I teach you?
No. Oh, I want to
No?
do the questions, do the
What
paddles.
do you want to do then? Let me
Questions,
show
do
you
the paddles.
first your next challenges. Let's talk about that so that once inshallah the speaker comes, then I don't take too much of your time after that. Oh. We talked about the mom's challenge yesterday. I will now show you your homework. I know that you're waiting for it. I know that you really, really want it, right? Okay. Let's see. I'll show you raw from the Canva, okay? I won't download it. But meanwhile, I would like to... Oh, can I share the screen, please? Thank you, Manha.
Yes.
I called you, Manha. I called you at that time to talk to ask a question. Yes, I can share it now. Okay. So here is this challenge that we will be attempting, inshallah, starting from tomorrow for next 10 days. Every day, your challenge will be posted in your group on Facebook. And can somebody please start letting the people come in, because I've been doing this and now I'm going to. Okay. So your challenge will be, oh my God, no, I can't show you the challenge. I can't show you the challenge actually. It's going to
Do you think if you showed it?
you have to wait every day. No. Thanks goodness. I remembered. I almost forgot that I'm not supposed to show you the challenge. Your challenge will be delivered every day. The new challenge will come out every day. You have to wait for it. And then you will have 24 hours to finish that task. And I know that you can do it. You're Sunnah campers. You can do anything. And you will be posting your work. You know where you're posting your work, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Let's see how many of you have actually started to get some points, because as many times your work, you post your work, as many times you attempt. Remember, one challenge, one attempt, right? That many time your name will go on the reel. So here we go. Zayan, Shanza, and that is Alayya and Zaid. MashaAllah. Already. Okay, so Zayan, Musa, when you post it, try to make your post separate from his. You can post 2 pictures and then make his separate post so that he is counted as in self, okay?
Okay. But would that still be counted for me and marriage?
Yeah, because it will be family, right? If you win the first prize, then one person is going to get the Umrah trip experience, right? But we will not go together. Obviously, if marriage wins, marriage is not going alone, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anybody wins from your family. And here we go. Aima and Rumeisa and Sitina. I know Adam is sick. Otherwise, his work would be there too. This is me. I'm not part of the challenge because I don't want to beat you guys. I'm joking. You should say you cannot beat us. We work hard. I can't beat you. You guys work better than me. Look at the decorations. Look at your decorations. Look where Sarah is standing. That's my decoration. And yours are way better than me. MashaAllah. So what is the hashtag for your work?
Hashtag NYG. YCG. SG.
New Year Goal Setting Party 2024. Right?
Yep.
We have. Okay, who's talking? Ibrahim? Sarah? Somebody's talking, I think, in your room, if I'm not wrong. Okay, so this is done actually, and if you close your eyes, no, I can close my screen. I don't have to make you close your eyes. Your first day challenge, I can tell you, so you can start working from today. You want me to tell you?
Yeah.
I don't know. Should I?
Yes.
Show me some excitement that I've been missing since morning. And you prove it. Yell, scream. You know how Sohail Bhai says, scream so loud that you're in trouble? That your parents say, why are you screaming?
My parents are right beside me.
Convince me that I should show it to you because it's
Yeah.
Okay, Sister Zumra, let's play some duff, and I want to see some excitement, jumping up and down, and then we'll think about it. Let's see.
Wait, Miss Saki, I don't think I can do that. I think my neighbors might file a noise complaint if I do that.
Okay, no, don't do that loud. You can't make it reach it hair through the air.
We fall off our chair?
Can we have the duff, please?
Sister Zakia,
Yes.
do you like my Saudi Arabia flag that I printed out from Sister Hadia?
I love it. I love it. Okay, let's do it.
I didn't. Just when you go back on the stairs. Yeah!
Oh, Sadhbhai is jumping too. He wants me to do the challenge too, I guess. Chaz is not into this. Chaz?
I don't think it's pictures. I don't have the cameras on. I'm 18.
Cameras on, cameras on. Hassan, Hiba, Ahdeen. So that is really exciting. That is out of screen. Ibrahim, come on, my man.
Let's go.
Show me some moves.
Let's go.
Get up. Look at Sadhbhai. Sadhbhai can do it. You can do it. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Ishad. Up, up, up. Come on, come on. Yes, Noor, jumping Noor. Get up, get up. Ima, Rahman. Okay, looks like I will have to give in. You win, you win. Okay. So Sister Zumra, yes. You win, mashallah. You guys won. I'm going to show you.
Can anybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Oh, good. I just want to make sure.
Hamza, forever.
My name, when I was holding this flag yesterday, say my name.
Say
Yes.
Yes. I don't remember.
You did.
Yesterday is long time ago for me. A lot happened after yesterday. Okay.
Actually, you did. You did.
Okay. Okay. Uh-oh.
Wait, so when does it so when do the days start?
Okay. Let's talk about this first, okay? You will have 10-day challenge. This challenge is for setting a legacy. And what is a legacy? Legacy is something that you do, but obviously we will all die one day. So even when we die, our legacy lives. Doing an action that even when you die, you still not just keep getting rewards, not just people only think about you, people talk about you. Have you ever, do you know any memorial of something, someone? People build
St. Paul Revere.
Who said?
There's a place called St. Paul Revere.
So that's a memorial place. So why they make it memorial? To remember. It's from memory, right? To remember. That person might have done some great things, and they might have built that thing by themselves. Or their children, their students, people who love them, they build. That's a building. But can we leave our legacies only in form of buildings? What are other forms? What are the other forms that we can leave our legacies?
You can teach people.
Okay, yes, you can teach people. What is Sister Fawzia doing?
So how can you leave a legacy? So when you die, something you leave behind that you're still getting good deeds.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What
Yes.
can you
sir.
do that people will still get? People are still doing something that you're still getting good deeds for.
Yes. So, is that a question or Sister
Think
Asya?
about it. What can you do
Mm-hmm. Yes.
that when you die, you're still getting good deeds?
Yes. So Sister Asya is asking you, think about what is that?
Yes, every time they read the Quran, even when you're dead, what's happening? Yeah.
I think Sister Asya is talking to her own kids, but it's a good conversation. We can learn from it. Right?
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize.
That's okay. That's okay. It was good. Okay, so see, think about it. Like Sister Asya said, people usually say, I will read Quran. Can you read Quran when you're dead?
No.
People say, when I ask people what legacy you want to leave, people say, I will make salah. Can you make salah when you're dead?
No. Legacy is something that you do that changes somebody, and that somebody does that for good stuff, and you get the rewards for it too.
Yes. Or somebody, it changes somebody, or you leave something that it still benefits others. It could be a person, it could be a building, it could be an institute, it could be anything. Suppose leaving a well, water well. Is leaving a water well legacy? Yes or no? Think about it.
Yes.
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 Anything which benefits
Yes.
people,
Yes.
anything which benefits
Yes.
after you die. So Sister Fozia, she has a legacy. She's building her legacy. How? What do you guys think? How is she building her legacy?
By helping people. By helping people. By helping people.
Imagine if she saves one
By
life.
helping people in need.
If she saves one life, that's a legacy, because that whole generation is going to grow from that one life. Right? Plus, that's not it. She has made an organization. What is that organization? This organization goes in the world wherever the medicine is needed, the food is needed, or any kind of help. So she collects funds, she sends the doctors. Suppose if there is a flood, if there is a war, there are no doctors, and a lot of people are sick, right? So her organization sends the doctors there. They send the food, they send the medicine. That is why when there was war going on, nobody else was allowed to go in that region, but her organization was. Why? Why they let her go? She said she's the first female. Yes, Khalil. How come she was allowed to go?
Because she was a doctor.
Because she has that organization who sends the doctors. You cannot just go like this. Oh, I'm a doctor. I'm at the border. Can I come in? It doesn't work like that. You have to be with this organization. You think you just pack up your things and you go because you're a doctor? No, there is a lot of work behind. They work with the embassies, they work with the countries, they work with Egypt, they work with Israel, they work with the Canada. The doctors went from USA, the doctors went from Pakistan, from all different countries. They worked. So there is a lot of work. Just dreaming. If you dream today, I'm going to set my legacy. Is that how you're going to set your legacy? Legacies need sacrifices. Remember that. If you want to build a legacy, it's more than just reciting Quran and making salah. Every single Muslim is supposed to recite Quran and make salah. Not every single Muslim leaves a legacy. Make sense?
Sister Zakia.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Ibrahim?
Do they also work with Palestine? The doctors?
With who, honey?
Do they also work with Palestine?
Yes, she went to Gaza. Remember, she said, I'm the first doctor, female doctor who went to Gaza in war.
Oh, I thought we worked with Jerusalem.
Jerusalem is in Palestine, right? Jerusalem is the capital
Yeah,
of
but
Palestine.
yeah.
So remember, we collected money to send with the doctors. This is the organization that we were collecting money for. But my question to you is that this is a goal setting party. We are setting goals. What is one thing that you think will live even after you die that you're going to do? Quickly think about it and write it down in your notes. It's very important that you know what legacy you want to send. Remember, that legacy you will set is that you're passionate about something. Like, suppose I love children, right? If I don't like children, if I don't like to spend time with children, you think I can teach? Then I will be forcing myself. You know how sometimes you have to love it so much that sometimes I'm sick during whole week, and on weekends everybody laughs. They said, "Oh, she's not going to be sick today." Why?
One
Because
legacy could be if you do a good thing and then someone likes that good thing and teach it to their kid,
yes,
and their kid does it, and that other
yes,
person likes it. And
yes,
that will keep happening because they understand that it's a good thing.
yes. Yesterday, one speaker, her name is Dr. Farhat Hashmi, and she is my teacher, and she taught me. Now, she taught 500 other people in my class. All those people went and they taught someone. Imagine how many rewards he's collecting, right? And I teach all you. So whenever you do something good, it's going to go to her. Who are we all legacy of? We are legacy of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So you understand how legacy works? Legacy is a very smart way of gain profit. You know how we spend money in different things to make money? Legacy is that if you suppose if you give $100, if you give $1 to Dr. Fauzia's organization, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran promised, I will multiply it with 700 or more. Is there any other place where you spend $1 and you get 700 more without doing anything else? So legacy is a very cool thing. And Islam, alhamdulillah, Islam teaches us how to build legacies. Our legacy is not just going to benefit us in this dunya. When we die, when we after when our funeral is done and they dig the hole and they throw us in they bury us in the earth. What else they said?
As
What
they
else?
said,
If I'm a millionaire, would my family put some money with me in the grave?
no, if you have a legacy, you can take nothing inside with you in your grave when you die. But your legacy will still be going and going.
Yes.
But you can take nothing with you in your grave.
No, but your good deeds will, your legacy will. So if you are a teacher, if you are doing something for humanitarian work, you're doing anything, you're a doctor, you're anything, you could be anything and you could set your legacy. But it is so important that you know what you love and then you do that. Your business can be your legacy. Usman bin Affan, Azillah Ta'ala, no, what was he? What was he? He was a businessman, right? And I told you this before, in Medina, there is still his hotel for 1500 years. He still has his legacy. Where is the money going? When he makes the money, when that hotel is making money, his investments are in other things. All that money is going back to building Masjid an-Nabawi and to sending students to study in Medina University. Now tell me, what's happening with Usman bin Affan? Where is all that money that we are spending here on Masjid an-Nabawi, in schools? Whose legacy? Whose legacy is that?
Usman bin Affan.
Yes, his business. He built that legacy through teaching. Did he build that legacy through teaching?
No.
No. Was he a doctor?
No, he was a businessman.
No, he was a businessman. So he built a legacy with money, with his business. His business stayed. He was such a good businessman that after, even when he died, his business kept working. There is no legacy like Usman bin Affan when it comes to business. So that's why your first question is, your first challenge is that you are going to create a visual board. What you want your legacy to be. You can cut out, different pictures. You can make your pictures. You know how to make visual boards. You will write the goals. What are you going to do for that in 2025 to achieve your legacy? And the first thing is that you should know what your legacy is, right? And then you will share that vision board by explaining us what is it about. Don't just share the video. Do not just share the picture, because when you share the picture, it will be 1 point. When you share the board, it will be 2. So when you have 2 pictures, it will be equal to 1. Okay? So that's important that you create videos. You don't have to show your face when you're making videos. Your camera can be... Yes, Ibrahim.
I'm taking notes now.
MashaAllah. And make the vision board. This is your first action that you're going to do. Now, when I give you the next actions, and if you have any questions, you will ask. I'm available. You know where to find me, right?
I'm doing my notes too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. Good job. Inshallah, our next speaker will be coming soon. Sister Aksa, you will let us know that when he's coming, and then inshallah we will let me give...
Yes, he's coming in 2 minutes.
Okay, in 2 minutes. I think you guys can show some excitement. Make sure you use your paddles. Is Sohail Bhai is not here this year to pump you up all the way, right? But you know what to do. So use your paddles. When there is a daf playing, then jump up and down. Take it now. You guys know what to do. The one who are not on camera, I still love you because there is no other way. I love you very, very much. If you are on camera, you're showing respect to your speakers, because only little kids are on the cameras, and the speakers are texting me, suppose that the kids are too young. My lesson was for older kids. Meanwhile, Hamza is sitting there, Sophia is sitting there, Salahuddin is there, Hadia is there. All adult. There are some adult here, but they think that these are only little kids. So what happens is, when you plan a lesson for someone older and you see little kids on the screen, you're going to get confused and you're going to think, okay, now I have to change my lesson plan. Right? Abdullah? Assalamu alaikum. Okay, so please, if you are older and you could come on the camera, it would be much appreciated. I will, it's Rahmat, someone is entering. I don't know if that is your speaker, Aksa. I will give the mic to Saad and Asad and Mishal. I don't know if Saad can hear me. And Zumra can have it from here. Assalamu alaikum.
So guys, I hope you learned a lot from Sister Zakia on your New Year's goals. Okay, your 10 goals. And now, inshallah, we're going to introduce our next guest. I hope you're feeling inspired and ready for another exciting session, we're now going to introduce an incredible guest, a role model for our youth, and someone who's really been transforming lives through his impactful work at the Youth Hub. Brothers and sisters,
Speaker is about to enter.
Khurram Alvi is here to guide us on a powerful journey. He will be sharing insights on how to set meaningful goals and align them with our theme, showing us how to lead lives that are not only successful in this world, but also in the Akhirah, inshallah. Khurram Alvi is a dedicated youth mentor, an engaging speaker, and someone who truly understands the struggles and aspirations of young hearts. His practical advice and inspiring words have motivated countless youth to dream big and work hard to achieve their goals. So let's all get excited, get up, clap, because we're now introducing and giving a warm welcome to Brother Khurram Alvi. Everybody start clapping, come on. Brother Khurram, the floor is yours.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Assalam. Walaikum salam. Walaikum assalam. Walaikum salam. Walaikum salam. Walaikum.
How's everybody doing?
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah. Assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Okay. You guys can give your salams in the chat as well, because otherwise we might
Is
just
the class
do
done?
salam for the next 10 minutes.
Is the class done? No. Not yet.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, now we have Assalamu alaikum, brother. Oh, you are muted too. I thought I
Yeah.
couldn't. Yes,
Yes.
yes. Yes, let's get started.
Sure. Okay. Before we start, I just wanted to get a good idea of who the participants are. I see lots of co-hosts. Can just give me an idea what's the general age group over here? Who's the youngest?
Brother, the most of the students here are from 10 to 13, 15, and they're really good, mashallah. They do have knowledge, excited too. They're just not on the camp. They are here, there are teenagers and older kids too. There are adults too.
Right.
They're hiding.
Okay. Okay, great. Okay. Inshallah, I'll start. Bismillah, alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah ma ba'd. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Jazakallah khair for inviting me. It's an interesting thing that I'm addressing some of the youth in Canada, because normally we get to see them live in Pakistan and we speak to them. So that's why I wanted to get a good idea of what's the age bracket over here. Alhamdulillah, we're coming towards the end of another year, although from an Islamic point of view, we don't see it that way. And I wanted to share some insights from my own experiences, especially in the age group that you guys are in, most of you, that are the early teens and the late teens. So what goes on in that age group and what happened when I was a teenager. So growing up, I was in Pakistan. I did my schooling from Islamabad, and for uni, I went to England. I did my bachelor's in electrical engineering from the University of Manchester. I came back. I worked for a bit. Then I went to Australia. I stayed there for a year. Worked for a bit over there. Then I came back again. And then after that, I've been here in Pakistan. Interestingly, I was not a very practicing boy. I did not knew much about Islam, so to say. We generally, the traditional Muslims, so that we know that we celebrate Eid and we do the festivals and all that. But apart from that, it was just a very sort of non-practicing life that I lived in my teenage. But what happens is that during those years, if you get some sort of interaction with those people who are close to religion, so you get that little glimpse of what their life looks like. But because we are surrounded with so many different things, so we're busy with friends, we're busy with studies, we're busy with different kind of sports and whatnot. So what happens is that we stay distracted from what our real purpose is. And we think that no, we're doing things that we have to do. Everybody around me is doing the same thing. So they're going to school or college or uni, and then they work, and then they make money, and then they have to get married, and so on and so forth. So this is like a standard pattern of life. And if you sort of look around, you see this is what everybody else is doing, to be honest. So a newborn kid, then he gets to the age of 3, 4, gets into the Montessori's, and then schooling for the next roughly 15, 18 years. He's in school, college, and then uni, and then work for the next 30 years. He works. In that period, he gets married, he has children, and the same cycle goes on and on. And during this whole cycle, everybody is competing for the worldly possessions. So everybody is looking to get a better job, sort of upgrade their car, get a better house, wear better clothes, upgrade their phones or their laptops and whatnot. So it's all about this little material race going on. And so we call this the rat race. This is what we call the rat race. The sad part about this race is that even if you win, you still what? You're still a rat. So there's no real sort of joy in winning a rat race, because we are not born to do that, to be honest. We have a very higher purpose that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent us with. And inshallah, before we get to the goal setting part for the next year, I think it's very important to know one, that why do we need to set the goals in the first place? And what are those goals, and why are we setting those particular goals in the first place as well? Because anybody can set any goals, and somebody might say, okay, why do I need to set goals in the first? Like, I'm living my life, I'm fine with it, and that's it. I can carry on this way, the way I'm going right now. So, so this is an important question, and I want you guys to participate as well through the comment section. So generally, what I want to know is how many of you are on, I'm assuming most of you would be on social media, but I want to know how many of you are on Instagram. If you can do the, does this have an option of raising the hand or something? So I can see that. So if you guys are on Instagram, so yeah, you can do that hand thing. So do that. And if you're on Instagram, if you're on TikTok, please do the same thing. I just want to get a rough idea of how many people are on Instagram and how many of you are on TikTok or both. Not seeing many hands. Are you guys even there? I've got 4, 5. Only 5 people? 6. What about the rest? Are you guys on, not on social media? Okay, instead, just type your screen time in the chat box. So if you have a phone, or just give me a rough idea of how much screen do you use each day. And you can just type it 2 hours, 3 hours, or whatever. And I'll look at it in a bit in the comments side. We don't encourage kids to use social media. Good, that's good. I don't do it each day. 2 hours, 6 hours, 3 hours, 6. About roughly 1. Okay. I don't know. 30 minutes, that's not bad actually. Okay, their parents here all screen free. Good, good. So it's not just about the kids. So, the parents can tell me their phone usage as well. 25 can't be right. I don't know what that is. Okay. The reason why I've actually asked you about your screen time is because this is one of the this is one of the biggest challenges that we're facing these days. No matter what kind of goals we set, no matter what we plan to do, one of the biggest hurdles that is in our way for us to achieve our goals or whatever we want to do in our life is the excessive use of the cell phone. And some of you might say we have some work related stuff, so we have to do, we have to be on WhatsApp or something. But most of the time, if we actually analyze our phone usage, we can do away with a lot of things that we do on our phones. It's something not that important. And the question I ask is that we need to be first and foremost self-aware. What I mean by that is that we need to understand what am I doing and why am I doing it. And this is very, very important. So everything that you do in your life, in your day, so you should be able to answer this question of why I'm doing it. So if you're using your phone for 3 hours, you have to question yourself, why am I using it for 3 hours? Do I have to use it for 3 hours? Is it that important? If it is, okay, fair enough. But if it isn't, then you need to acknowledge, okay, this is too much. How much is the bare minimum? Then you go there. So this is like a general starting point for in all aspects of our life. So whatever we do, we have to be able to answer this question of why we're doing it. Okay. And if I ask you, I know, mashallah, I've been told that this is, mashallah, a very good group of kids and even the families and everybody. I want to ask you guys this question, that we are born Muslims, and we pray. Even if some of us don't, we acknowledge at least the fact that we should pray 5 times a day, ideally in the masjid, and for men. So have you actually ever questioned that why do we have to pray 5 times a day? Why not 6 times a day? And what's the purpose of the prayer? I'm born Muslim. What does it mean to be a Muslim? Why should I have this desire to become a better Muslim? What is a better Muslim? And I want you guys to think about those questions, because this is very, very important. If we don't have a strong why for whatever we're doing, we might get motivated because everybody around us is setting good goals and doing these things, and we might say, you know what, I should do it. But after a month or even less than that, we would be like, this is too hard, why am I doing it? I might just as well do something else, and you might get distracted. So the reason why you do things has to be very, very clear to you. And as Muslims, we understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent us with a very, very clear purpose. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Zariyat, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ, that I have not created men and jinn except that they worship me. Now, what does this worship mean? Does this just mean namaz, roza, hajj, zakah, and all of those things? Is that the whole of the worship, or is it more to it? To be very honest, if we make it very simple to understand for us, is worship is doing what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us to do and stopping ourselves from doing what He has stopped us from doing. Okay? So I repeat, worship is obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in all matters. So the things that He has commanded us to do, we do that. And the things that He has stopped us from doing, we should stop. That becomes an ibadat. So avoiding all sorts of haram is ibadah. So you don't eat pork, you don't eat The other things that are haram, that's ibadah. If we are doing the things, we are being nice to our parents, that's ibadah. If we are, helping the poor, we being, just helping out people, randomly, we giving food or doing any sort of good deed, that's inshallah in the sort of bracket of worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's the purpose that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us that He has created us with. Now, you might say, okay, fine, but I still have free will. I can do whatever I want. I can, choose my way of doing things. That's fine. But I want you to understand this very, very important thing as well. That did you actually choose your parents? Did you actually choose the country you were born in? Did you actually choose your skin color? Or did you choose your sort of how would you look like? Did you choose your eyes? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked you, okay, this is the face, there are 10 different faces, and you chose your face. No, you didn't. So we didn't choose anything before we came into this world. So it was by chance that we were born in the house that we were born in. Okay. We didn't choose our siblings either. Tough luck for some of you. That's what it is. So we've just been thrown in, and we came without anything. We came into this world without anything. We didn't even have clothes on. All right. So when the baby comes out, he's wrapped up and then he's given some clothes. And it's very, very interesting how the first few months, even, the child is completely dependent for all of its need, initially, primarily from the mother's side. She is the one who feeds and, dresses and all of that kind of stuff. So we come in this world not by our choice. Randomly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decides where we're going to go. And you know what? This is how our end is going to be. So we don't choose when we leave this world either. So we did not choose when we are going to come, and we're not choosing when we're going to leave this world. So we don't have a choice. So what do we do in the time in between now? Do we have a choice that, okay, this is how I'm going to live my life? The answer is yes and no. We have a choice that we can live our lives the way we want to, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us how to live our lives. So we need to actually abide by that, because we came into this world by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We will leave this world by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We need to live the life in this world according to the principles of the laid down in the Quran and the Hadith by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is a very, very important fact that we need to understand, that we need to sort of humble ourselves, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us this one life. He has now, alhamdulillah, given us, sent us in this world, and we've been given nice parents, and we've got a good family. We belong to from sort of well-to-do families as well. We're not born in some random village in a third world country where there's not even security or a safe house or a place to there are actually places still, by the way, in parts of Pakistan, if you go in Sindh and Balochistan, there's certain areas that there's so much poverty over there that you wouldn't believe, that the houses are just bad, and the people live in very, very, very tough conditions over there. So alhamdulillah, we're not born there. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us a lot more resources. So the thing is, how do we live this life is very important now. So you have to understand this one thing, that you didn't come by your own permission. You will not leave by your own choice. So while you use this middle period, this is not sort of your choice. You can choose to live the life the wrong way, then your end would be bad as well. So if we live this life the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to live, alhamdulillah, the end would be great. Okay, and we have ample sort of evidence from the Quran and the Sunnah for living our lives the right way, right? And there's an interesting hadith that a man once came to Prophet ﷺ, and he asked him, Ya Rasulullah, mata sa'ah, when is the hour? So when is the day of judgment? That's what he was asking. And the answer that Prophet ﷺ gave was very beautiful. He said, what have you? So he did not answer him with saying, these are the signs of blah blah. He said, what have you prepared for it? Because your time, sort of my time, starts when I die. That's the end of my chapter. Once I die, I can't change what I did previously. So all my deeds that were written down are now written down. The book is closed. That's it. So he told the person, what have you prepared for it? And this is very interesting because often people stop here, but the person who asked this question replied to Prophet ﷺ. He said, Ya Rasulullah, there's not much in terms of sort of salah and qiyam and all of that stuff, but I love Allah and I love His Messenger. So he answered it in a very sort of beautiful way. He said that I love the Prophet, Allah, love Allah and His Prophet. So Prophet ﷺ, then he replied, he said, you will be with those whom you love. So in Akhirah, we will be with those whom we love. Now this is very, very profound. I mean, we can spend so much time now on this little part, on its significance, because you should now question, who do you love? And I should question, who do I love? And love is, if I define it simply, if you love someone, what do you want to do? You want to spend time with them? You want to take care for them? You never want to disappoint them. You would actually know all about them as well. So, you love someone. So you say, I know. So some of you are, Canadians, I'm not sure which sport you guys mostly follow. I follow football and cricket, for example. So, so my team is Liverpool. I know all about them. So I know the players, the managers, the clubs, the history, and all about it. So that's kind of my love towards that football club. For an individual, if I love my wife or my kids, I know all about them. So I take care of them, and I'm aware of their needs. So I'm a lot more. I would love to spend time with them. So whenever I have free time, I would want to go and spend time with my loved ones. So our iman is. Part of our iman is that we should love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the most, followed by the Prophet ﷺ, and then anybody else. And if that is the order, inshallah, we will be in Jannah, because Prophet ﷺ said, you will be with those whom you love. So Prophet ﷺ is obviously in Jannatul Firdaus al-A'la. So we would be in Jannah if we love Prophet ﷺ. So now the question is, what does this love mean? We should be, are we actually spending our free time with the Quran? Whenever we get, do we love to be in masjid? Do we love to, do things that please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Do we hate to disappoint Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? What do we do when we sin, we make a mistake? Do we repent right away, or we just are lax about it? So no, it's not a big deal. Do we play it down, or do we actually are concerned? Oh, subhanAllah, it's not about the sin. It's actually who I have committed the sin against. It's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this whole concept needs to be understood, that our love towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has to be right up there. Now, the question is, how do we get there? So this is very, very important. So now I'll come to the other part of goal setting. So this is the sort of the initial bit I want to talk about, was the reason why we should be setting these goals, why we should be aiming to become better Muslims, because that's where our salvation is. And to be very honest, we don't know how long we are in this world. It's very, very sort of fragile. This life is very fragile, to be honest. And we see this. We see this all the time. We hear the news that, the other day, 2 cars had an accident. There were 5 people, all of them died. Or, something like that. Anything. So death is such a that thing that can come to any person anytime. It has got nothing to do with your or my health. So, if I'm healthy, I'm young, it has got nothing to do with the age. It's got nothing to do with health. It's got nothing to do with where you live and how secure your area is. And it doesn't matter. It can come like this any moment. So should we actually plan then? Because if death is going to come in any moment, should we plan? So one of my mentors said that you plan things as if you're going to live for another 25, 30, 50 years. but you live your life as if you're going to die tomorrow. So there's a difference here. So we should be prepared to die at any time. But what if we live for another 25 years or 30 years or 50 years? How should we, what legacy do we want to leave behind? So our planning should be that far ahead. So, but I'm not going to do that for you right now. That's for you to decide what you want to do. I just want to give you some very, very important tips. So for example, if you want to set goals, I would say take out a piece of paper whenever you want to do it. So I was doing it. I might have it over here. So I like to do it on an actual piece of paper, not on a laptop or a pad or something like that. So what I do is it's very messy. So I have got my personal goals, and then I've got my business goals. I've got my study goals, and all of these different kind of sort of areas that I define. So I sort of listed things down, what I want to do there, and then I summarize it, and then I try to have it in a place where I can see them again. So the first thing you want to do is, as far as your religious and spiritual goals, you can say, take out a piece of paper, and you can do is you can, in the middle of the paper, you can circle and write Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the middle. And then think of all the things, you write things that would bring you close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So everything should be pointing towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? So that's something you can do. And then you can write things. What are all those things that I am currently doing or I can do that will bring me close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? That would make Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala my number one priority in life. Because that's what you just heard. Our love towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has to be right at the top. And to give you another proof of that is there's an ayah in Surah Tawbah where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells Prophet to say that, say, O Prophet, if your parents and your children, now let's say it's this ayah often is regarded as called the 8/3 rule. So 8 things versus 3 things. So what are those 8 things? That if your parents, number 1, your children, number 2, siblings, spouses, and your extended family. So it's all family related. 5 things related to family. And the wealth that you acquired, and the business that you do, and the homes that you cherish. So related to the wealth. So your wealth that you've acquired, the business that you do, and last, the houses that you built for yourselves. If you love these things, if these are more beloved to you than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and jihad fi sabilillah, or sacrifice in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, anything, then wait until Allah brings about His will. There's a warning here by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that then wait until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings about His will. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not guide the rebellious people. So these 8 things, we need to understand that if we give preference to our parents, to our siblings, to our spouses, to our extended family, to our children, or to our wealth, to our business, to our homes, over Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we're in trouble. We're in big trouble, to be honest. So we need to understand that this is something which we can't afford to do. So the objective was that we have to put Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala right at the top. So you make this, take a piece of paper, you write Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the middle, and then start writing those things down that will bring you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, what those things are, that should vary individually, because I don't know your individual level, where you are in your journey. Some of you might be just starting off, some of you might be, mashallah, well ahead, maybe very, very particular with your 5 daily prayers, and some of you might be doing tahajjud and doing nafli fasting and whatnot, and maybe doing a lot of charity. I don't know. So that's for you to decide. But I'm going to give you a couple of tips that I think are very, very important, no matter where you are in this journey. Because if you mess that up, if you're far ahead in your journey, you will start falling back. And if you're beginning, and if you don't do these things, you will struggle, because I've gone through that phase. And in fact, the funny thing is that a lot of the brothers in youth club, we often sit down and discuss what are those things that we think are just so important for everybody to follow. And we often come to a couple of those. Number one is righteous company. Be very, very, very particular in terms of who you choose to hang out with, who your friends are, who your sort of go to. Even these days, our cell phone is a friend of ours because we spend a couple of hours there. So what do we watch? What do we listen on our phones? Who do we follow on our Instagrams and YouTube and whatnot? So whatever we see and hear is going to have an effect on us. So this is absolutely crucial. If you think you have friends that do not bring you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you need to be wary of them. I'm not saying they need to be bad people. Sometimes you need to let go or sort of reduce your interaction with people who are just decent people, but they don't sort of bring you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you have to choose your friends very, 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 very wisely, because I think this is something that you realize is literally a make or break for some people. And I know a lot of people who came towards Deen, became super practicing, but they did not change their company. They still used to hang around with their old friends, and couple of months, in some cases, couple of years as well down the line, they went back to becoming completely non-practicing people. So the number one thing that you have to set in your sort of goals for the next year is you have to find righteous company, and you have to let go of bad company. So it goes both ways, right? And if you think that we don't have much option, make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will open those doors and opportunities for you to, and sort of will connect you with people who are righteous. So that's tip number one. Number two is that you have to stay in touch with the knowledge of Islam. So you have to seek knowledge, even if it's small. Take baby steps. I'm not saying that you have to understand the whole Quran within a year or something like that. No, you can take your time, but you have to level up your knowledge wherever you are. Doesn't matter where you are, you have to go up a notch. And I often say the bare minimum is that you have to be going to at least one class, proper Islamic class, for at least 1 or 2 hours a week. That's like the bare minimum. If you're not doing that, it's really bad. Then it's really tough. That's like the bare minimum, and that's apart from the prayers and the Jummah khutbah and the little reminders here. There's not. So I'm asking you, go attend a class physically. Go there. Not an online session, but a physical class. Do the online things. Do the YouTube lectures. All of that. That's separate. But go to a physical class or a halaqah or a gathering where there is a session and you're gaining knowledge at least once a week. That's tip number two. Because if we do not stay connected with the deen, with the knowledge, then we will slowly move away from it. And we will just start to forget that why am I here in the first place? With the times that we live in, there's so many distractions. There's so many distractions. It's very, very hard to stay focused on even the important things that we want to do in our lives. So people are struggling to accomplish their sort of financial goals because of the distractions. So how can Shaitan let us easily stay distracted free and let us just practice our religion as per our wishes? It's not going to happen. So we need to be equipped to fight Shaitan here. And the only way we can do it is through Quran and the knowledge of the deen. And that's what we need to do. So the second thing is that you need to have this halaqah going on or a class going on once a week at least, preferably a couple of days a week. That's even better. Now, what does that do? So I've just given you 2 tips. So one is the righteous company. The other is a weekly class. The other things that you want to decide, you can decide it for yourself. But I'm going to give you some rules regarding whatever goals you want to set. So I said take a piece of paper and write Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and start writing down things that you want to improve. Now, just a general thing. So, for example, you are struggling to pray Fajr, for example. You pray 4 times, but you struggle with your Fajr prayer. You know, it's hard to get up early morning. So what you do is you say, you know, this is important for me. This is more important than maybe fasting on Mondays and Thursdays. So this is because this is farz, this is optional. So we do the farz first, and then we go to the extra good deeds we can do, right? So you say, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to pray Fajr every single day in the next year. So that's one of the goals that you set. And you, even if you set this one goal for the next, and you say, I'm going to do it for the whole of January, and after that, I'll review it. So what you do is you write that goal for a year, that this year I'm not going to miss Fajr, but you're going to have this monthly reviews. And sometimes it's better to actually break it down to quarterly. So what I do is, like, I have a rough idea of my yearly goals, but I've broken them down into the first quarter and the second quarter and the third quarter, that this is what I want to achieve by the end of Ramadan, because Ramadan is in March this year, so end of March roughly, and then April, May, June, and so on and so forth. So you sort of break those things down. Don't make it too hard. Make it easy. Make it something achievable. So sometimes we, get too motivated. I'm going to do tahajjud, I'm going to do this, I'm going to, recite Quran for 2 hours daily and things like that. And, by 7th or 10th January, you'll be like, this is tough and this is draining me out. So then you'll be giving up very quickly. So don't do that. Don't make it very, very tough for yourself. Make it easy. Make it something which is doable. Okay. So this is the other thing. So you sort of set those goals and then you make them very easy, achievable, and prioritize them with the level where you are. So for example, somebody who's already, mashallah, praying 5 times a day, they're doing tahajjud, and they've memorized portion of the Quran, they want to take that up. So now what you should do is you maybe go to a teacher and ask them, what kind of books should I be reading this year? So this is what I want to do. So for example, I study Islamic psychology. So I have courses lined up. These are the courses I want to do. This is what I'm doing currently. These are certain books I want to read. And then I have a rough idea how many I can read. And, I have my own schedule in my head. This is my work hours. This is my family time. This is all of that stuff. So what is realistically possible for me? Because we want to do so much sometimes, but it's hard. It's not that straightforward that you'll be able to do all of that you want to do. So you make it something that is achievable, because once you do it, you feel good about it. You feel, sort of more motivated now. So then you can, level up and take push yourself a little bit more, but don't set very tough goals, which ideally, they look amazing, but they're very, very hard to achieve. So make it easy, relax, and knowing how your routine and days are going to look like. You probably know, your school hours and your college hours and maybe your work hours, and when do you have time, and, how much time do you spend with your family and all of that. So it depends. It varies from case to case. So then you have to plan that thing according to your routines. Okay. So that's the other thing. Once you've done this bit, write them down. So write down your goals or plan things like literally in bullet forms. And then I would say have them for the first month only on a piece of paper, written them down in a very neat manner, and then have it literally right in front of where you're going to spend most of your day. So if you sit on a desk, or maybe you can have it on the on your bedroom door, or somewhere where you can see them. So make them visible. So whenever you write those goals down, so you just don't write it in a book and in a copy or a textbook, and then you don't know where the book is or the textbook is at. So don't do that. So put it somewhere where you can see them, so they kind of remind, and then you can sort of analyze. Okay, where am I? Am I even anywhere near those goals or not? I said, okay, I'm going to memorize 2 surahs in the month of January. Where am I? It's 15th Jan. I'm done with 1 grade. brilliant. So I'm on track. So you have to keep track of are you going along with the goals that you set for yourself, or you know, or not. So that's the other thing. Can you tell me how much time do I have? Because I wanted to do a bit of Q&A. Maybe if somebody wants to ask any questions, we can do that. Because I'm almost done. I can skip the last.
If you'd
parts.
like, we can go to questions now, brother.
Yes, we can do the questions now.
Okay. So guys, if you have any questions, write them in the chat, or just raise your hand and brother will answer the questions. Okay, so Atiya, he has his hand up. Do you have a question? Atiya and Abdul Rahman?
Other man has a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Allah can break the meteors.
Allah can break the.
Okay. Brother, I actually have a question.
Allah can break meteors.
Allah can give you the good new years, huh? What did he say?
Okay. MashaAllah.
New tears.
Brother, actually, I have a question as well, and maybe you guys can be inspired by this question too. So like you talked about setting goals that are related to doing better stuff for the world, you know. And I understand there's a lot of young kids here, and they don't really understand like how they can improve the world or how they can get involved. So can you give me like one example of a goal that you set for yourself that not only push your personal growth but also made an impact on others?
I didn't particularly talk about setting goals in that way. For me personally, so what you do is you set goals for your different sort of areas. So one is your spiritual area, one is your work area, one is maybe your family goals. You can have different sets of goals, and then you plan accordingly. So somebody who wants to set goals to have a impact, leave an impact in the world, they need to sort of know what kind of impact they want to create, number one, and what do they need to equip themselves with. So whether it's knowledge, whether it's something else, maybe. So you prepare yourself to be able to do that eventually, right? So I know there's a lot of young audience, so they have ample time. So if you're 13, 14, 15, 16, so educate yourself. So if you want to sort of maybe become a dai, you want to go to maybe Medina University. So you need to know, okay, if I want to go to Medina University, what qualifications do I need before, and what are the prereqs to get admission to that university? So prepare that now instead of sort of just waiting, and then you can have that impact, inshallah. I hope that sort of answers the question.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is set prerequisites to like set your goals. So steps that you can take towards achieving the goal, not just setting the goal.
Yeah. Like I said, it depends on where you exactly are. So for example, if you sort of have got to a point where you think you're almost there, and you just need to do the last bit, do the action, take the action, go ahead, do it. But if you're not there yet, so then you prepare yourself to be ready. So you're ready when the time is right for you to take the action. So for example, you want to do a business, so but you don't have the resources right now, or you don't have the expertise in that. So what you do is you learn the skill. So you gain knowledge, you learn about it, you do some courses, and once you've done that, now you have that required knowledge, you start the business.
Okay. Jazakallah khair. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense now. Okay, on taking the right steps. Okay.
Sure.
Anybody else have questions? Musab, Hamza, you guys have your hand up. I know we have a sister here that also has a question.
Do you live in Pakistan?
Sorry?
Do you live in
Say that again.
Pakistan?
Yes, I live in Pakistan.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Do we have any questions in the chat?
There is. My little brother wants to ask something. My little brother wants to ask you that can Allah break
Metroid.
Metroid? You don't know Metroid. Allah can break the
Okay,
meteors.
okay.
I have a question right here for
His question was that can Allah break the Metroid in the our universe?
Papa, what is
Yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can do anything.
Yes, He can do anything. Okay, thank you. Jazakallah ta'ala.
Right. Yes.
I have a question. Because He's our Lord.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I have a question.
Yes. Go ahead, please.
Like you talked a lot about setting goals and what are the proper steps to achieving them. But I was wondering if you could touch on how we should deal with setbacks that we might encounter on the way to achieving those goals.
That's a good question. It's actually very, very important to understand that that no matter what we do, how we plan our things, things will always sort of go wrong. Things will go wrong. And that's part of life. And that is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has this whole concept of qadr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is based around the fact that He knows, He has the complete knowledge, and we are always going to be judged based on our efforts, not on the outcome. So it's the effort that matters, not the result. So this is very, very important to understand. So the example is Nuh alayhi salam. How many years did he preach? Over 950 years, right? So he gave dawah over 950 years. How many people accepted his dawah? Roughly somewhere between 70 and 80. That's like a sort of if you do the calculation, if you do the maths, that's roughly 1 person in 15, 20 years or something like that. That's not sort of good in our eyes, maybe. That's like somebody's putting in so much effort and the results are not coming. And we also know that his own son did not accept Islam. And he was giving him dawah till the last minute. So would anybody say that Na'udhu billah, Nuh alayhi salam failed in his mission? Of course not. But the thing is that he gave dawah, it's the effort that matters, it's not the result. There will be prophets who would come on the day of judgment with 0 followers. Nobody accepted their message. And whatever we want to do in our life, whether from a dunyavi point of view or from a religious point of view, we have to understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala looks at our efforts. If we are trying our best, we fail, doesn't matter, we try something else. We use the akal that He has given us, and we use the methods that He has told us to, try, different things. And if things fall into place, alhamdulillah. If there are setbacks, alhamdulillah again. Doesn't matter. We go again. This is how life is. We will not be questioned that, oh, you were not able to do that. The only thing that really sort of matters is that we do the farais. So there's no compromise, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not made anything farz, and that is sort of out of the bounds of a human being that he can't do. So any person who says, I just can't pray 5 times a day is lying. That's not true. Allah ta'ala will never make something farz that any person is unable to do that. So we are able to do the farais, but apart from that, the extra nawafil, some of you might be able to, pray tahajjud every day. Some of you might be able to do it once a while, once every week, once every month. So that varies. That's not something you'll not be questioned about. As long as you're trying to become better Muslims, as long as you're trying to become better people. And also it's very, very important to understand that being a better Muslim is not just reciting more Quran and doing more nawafil, and we sort of give those examples. Actually, I would say that's the easier bit. The harder bit is to control your anger, to ensure that you don't backbite, to ensure that you're nice with people who are not nice with you. Silatu Rahim. Silatu Rahim is being merciful. Rahim comes from the word mercy. So and you give mercy to people who are not kind to you. That's like ultimate mercy. So these are the hard bits, to be honest. People who annoy you, irritate you, and you still be very, very kind towards them, and you don't go out and seek revenge from them, and you just let go and forgive and move on and be very nice. These are the hard parts. And Prophet told us that he was sent to perfect our character. So we need to work on the character part as well. So you guys need to when you're setting your goals, think of your weaknesses in these areas as well. Yeah. I hope that sort of helped.
I have a question.
Yes.
How should we approach our non-Muslim classmates when they are non-Muslims? Should we befriend them or avoid them?
How should you approach them in terms of what?
How should you approach your non-Muslim classmates when should you be friends with them or should you avoid them?
No, you don't have to be sort of anti them. You can be nice with them. Obviously, it's better to hang around with Muslim friends because, like I said, the company really matters. So the company of non-Muslims will not bring you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But at the same time, this is an opportunity for us to tell them about Islam as well. So that is something you can do through your character, nice behavior. Maybe you can share a few things with them, and you can be nice with them. You don't have to be sort of rude and unfriendly with them. You just be nice but your close friends should always be Muslims. And even from the Muslims, the more practicing, the true Muslims, the ones who actually, practice deen, not the ones who just name Muslims by name.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Just Jazakallah khair for coming to visit us and talking about our goals.
Wayyaka. Yes. Any other question?
I would like to say something. It's a little laggy from me. Is anyone talking?
No, you can ask the question, please. Go ahead.
Are we going to the breakout room today?
We'll get to the breakout rooms some other time, but Jazakallah khair, Brother Karam, for coming. That was I personally learned a lot. Guys, would you say we learned a lot? Unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Thank Brother Karam for coming. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do a round of applause. Okay. Jazakallah khair. It was very educational, and alhamdulillah, we'll use what you've taught us today and implement them in our new year goal setting.
Inshallah, ji. Same age, Jazakallah khair for being there, and inshallah, looking forward to some more sessions like this, inshallah, in the future.
Of course, inshallah. And we hope to see you again next year.
Jazakallah khair. Barakallahu feek.
Okay, now we're gonna slowly transition to Zayan. Zayan, we know you have a dua for us, Zayan Shah. Okay, so we're gonna end off with his beautiful recitation, inshallah. So go ahead.
اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا شر ما قضيت إنك تقضي ولا يقضى عليك
إنه لا يذل من واليت ولا يعز من عاديت تباركت ربنا وتعاليت لك الحمد على ما قضيت ولك الشكر على ما أعطيت نستغفرك اللهم من جميع الذنوب والخطايا وأتوب إليك اللهم اقسم لنا من خشيتك ما تحول به بيننا وبين معصيتك ومن طاعتك ما تبلغنا به جنتك ومن اليقين ما تهون به علينا مصائب الدنيا ومتعنا اللهم بأسماعنا وأبصارنا وقوتنا أبدا ما أبقيتنا واجعلها الوارث منا واجعل ثأرنا على من ظلمنا وانصرنا على من عادانا ولا تسلط علينا بذنوبنا من لا يخافك فينا ولا يرحمنا اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وأذل الشرك والمشركين ودمر أعداء الدين واحم حوزة الإسلام واجمع كلمة المسلمين على الحق يا رب العالمين اللهم إبراهيم لهذه الأمة أمرا رشيدا يعز فيه أهل الطاعة ويذل فيه أهل المعصية ويؤمر فيه بالمعروف وينهى فيه عن المنكر برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين اللهم اغفر لنا وارحمنا واعتق رقابنا من النار اللهم اغفر لنا ولوالدينا اللهم اغفر لنا ولوالدينا ولأزواجنا وذرياتنا وأرحامنا وأصحابنا ومشايخنا وحكامنا اللهم أنت الله لا إله إلا أنت الغني ونحن الفقراء أنت الغني ونحن الفقراء أنت الغني ونحن الفقراء أنزل علينا الغيث ولا تجعلنا من القانتين أنزل علينا الغيث ولا تجعلنا من القانتين اللهم أغثنا اللهم أغثنا اللهم أغثنا يا أرحم الراحمين
MashaAllah. Takbir for Zayan. That was wonderful. Everybody, takbir, come on, like show up.
Allahu Akbar.
MashaAllah, Zayan. That was beautiful, man. That was a really great recitation. Now we're just gonna play some duff, okay? And I hope you guys really enjoyed today's guest speakers. I hope you learned a lot. And inshallah, this will conclude day 2 of the New Year's Goals Party. Inshallah, we will see you all again tomorrow. I hope you guys bring the energy, and inshallah, we'll start fresh tomorrow. And sorry for the technical difficulties in the beginning. Now, if you guys would like to talk up,
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Say it again.
Alafis. Alafis. Alafis.